It is hard to keep track of all of the bouldering and sport climbing ascents happening these days, but I've got you covered with news of the latest proposed V17 from Nicolai Užnik. We'll also talk about Adam Ondra ascending a V17, the latest 9B sport climbing ascents from Seb Bouin and Stefano Ghisolfi, and much more in this climbing news episode. My name is August. Welcome to August Climbing. It's been about a month since I was able to put out one of these episodes, and that's primarily because I had sinus surgery and was recovering. But thankfully, it went well. I'm breathing better than I was before, and I'm glad to be back. Let's start by talking about a proposed V17 or 9A first ascent in Multital, Austria. This was announced on March 1st by Nicolai Užnik. And side note, I was not able to find a clear answer to the pronunciation of Nicolai's last name, perhaps Užnik or something else. If perhaps you know, feel free to comment about it. We talked about Nicolai recently on this channel when he astonishingly sent Forgotten Gem, an iconic V15 on the second go, nearly flashing a V15 boulder. He is an Austrian climber with an extensive comp climbing career dating back to at least 2014, and clearly Nicolai can crush outdoors as well. In February, he shared about his longest project to date, saying, "I began to try it in 2021, and over the years, I never felt like it was possible until last fall when I managed to do all the moves and made some promising links. In January, it was the first time I thought I had an actual chance of sending it and started giving good attempts. Now I've had about 6 or 7 more sessions on it, getting really close, including several falls after the main crux and even 3 times at the very last tricky sequence. On my last go, which was actually my best one yet, my foot slipped and I fell quite badly, twisting my ankle. That means I'll have to take a little break now until my foot gets better again. I've been in really good shape lately, so I'm hoping to be back soon and finally get it done." And it must not have taken too long for Nicolai's ankle to heal, because on March 1st he shared, "Mount Doom, first ascent, proposed 9A/V17. Arguably the best day of my climbing life yet. So happy. More info plus video coming soon." Mount Doom is a sit start to a V14 boulder called Hide and Sick, which was first put up by Yannick in 2016. And Hide and Sick is a line which Nicolai sent back in 2020. Hide and Sick involves climbing along tiny crimps, a steep overhang with powerful lock-offs, and some unique beta such as a hand-foot match. I will link to a video of Paul Robinson making the second ascent of Hide and Sick so you can get an idea of what this climb looks like. Interestingly, when Paul made this first ascent in 2017, he wrote on 8a.nu, "I cannot wait to return to Multital for the sit start to this one." So this has clearly been a long-standing open project. It'll be interesting to see what additional moves are added with the low start. We should learn more about that soon when Nicolai releases the first ascent footage of Mount Doom, and I'll be sure to keep you updated about that in a future episode. And how about Adam Ondra crushing it in bouldering? This is from a few weeks ago now, but Ondra announced the 4th ascent of the Big Island Sit, or Soudain Seul, in Fontainebleau, France. This boulder problem was a first ascent from Simon Lorenzi in 2021 with a proposed grade of V17. When Nico Pellerson completed the boulder shortly thereafter, he suggested V16. Then the 3rd ascent came in 2022 by Camille Couder, who thought perhaps it was soft V17, but V17 nonetheless. What was it like for Adam Ondra? Let's hear his thoughts about the climb and the grade. On Instagram, he wrote, "This winter, I really wanted to dedicate myself a bit more seriously to bouldering, and obviously I was thinking about which 9A or V17 could fit my style the best. Fontainebleau is a bouldering place where I climbed very little in the past, and I almost feel ashamed about it, considering its relevance for our sport. On top of that, it is the bouldering place where I had enjoyed climbing the most. So Soudain Seul, or Big Island Sit, 9A was an obvious goal. On my third try of the day, 5 days in total, I put up some of the most memorable fights and made it to the top. I feel very happy and proud about this send. It means particularly a lot to me, especially after the last few seasons, when I always felt very close to doing some relevant ascents, but it never really quite happened. Sending this in the 5th session is the icing on the cake. On his website, Ondra shared further thoughts about the grade of Big Island Sit. It feels like the hardest problem I have ever done. I honestly feel strong at the moment. The problem fits my style perfectly, and it still feels harder than my 8C plus first ascents at my home crag, for example, Terra Nova. Soudain Seul is definitely power endurance boulder problem, and that is why it fits a sport climber like me. So my suggestion is that it feels harder than 8C plus, but if it is 8C plus / 9A or soft 9A, I really don't know. It is also difficult with grade proposition, as the boulder has a lot of different moves where you need a lot of different skills, and also the size of the climber is important. So in other words, grading is a complex thing, and there still may be no easy answer for the grade of the Big Island Sit. In sharing about his methods on the climb, Ondra said, "To finish, I did it with no book in the knee pad. I don't need it as I'm tall enough, but I find the invention of Simon Lorenzi absolutely genius and don't find it controversial at all. But I did it with a fan pointing straight into the crux sloper like Simon and Camille. Nico has very dry skin and did not need it. That is very game-changing for me and much more controversial in my opinion." And this is not the only notable recent bouldering ascent from Ondra. He also made this 8B plus or V14 flash of the boulder problem Elegido in Spain, doing so in his underwear since he lost his shorts somewhere along the way. This is certainly a moment that will go down in climbing history. I will link to the video of that from Ondra's YouTube channel. We've got several more notable bouldering and sport climbing ascents to talk about. I will keep the rest of these more concise so the episode remains a reasonable length. Austin Purdy has sent the Bookkeeper V15 and Bookkeeping V16 in Colorado, a powerful roof boulder put up by Drew Ruana in 2022. Adam Shahar has made the 4th ascent of the Process V16 in the Buttermilks, California. The Process is a highball boulder first ascended by Daniel Woods in 2015. Yannick Flohé sent Story of Three Worlds V16 in Switzerland, saying, "Yesterday I made the 3rd ascent of this fun boulder from Sean Raboutou." Elias Iagnemma sent Ephyra V16 in Switzerland, sharing that he needed 9 sessions in total to climb this king line, one which was established in 2019 by Jimmy Webb. Stefan Hochbaum made the 1st ascent of Obsidian V16 in Germany. This had been known as the King Kong project, which was found 17 years ago. Stefan spent 3 years working on it, and you can see the results in his 1st ascent video, which I will link in the description. Daisuke Ichimiya sent United V16 located in Japan. This boulder saw its 1st ascent from Ichimiya in 2019, and Daisuke claimed the 3rd ascent following Sean Raboutou's 2nd ascent last year. Daisuke also recently made a 1st ascent of Mappo V15, also in Japan. Jakob Schubert has been busy with an impressive tick list during what he called 2 short trips to Ticino, Switzerland recently. Check this out. Story of Three Worlds, V16 2nd ascent, Return of the Dreamtime, V15 3rd ascent, and others here, Vecchio Leon Sit, V16, Big Paw, V15, Lion Share, V15, and Mithril Sit, V14. That is quite a list of hard bouldering ascents. Elliot Stevens made the 1st ascent of Zircon V15 in South Wales in the UK. Giuliano Cameroni also put up a new V15, making the 1st ascent of Solar Plexus V15 in Switzerland, a climb which was said to be 2 years in the making. Giuliano also made an ascent of Four Low V15 in Switzerland, Forlo was established by Daniel Woods in 2020. Pietro Vidi sent Unison V15 in Switzerland. Unison is a first ascent from Aidan Roberts back in 2023. Lee Sung-soo sent Amaterasu V15 in Japan, a first ascent by Dai Koimada from circa 2017. Giannin Regli sent The Story of Two Worlds V15 in Switzerland. This is an iconic line established by Dave Graham in 2005. Brooke Raboutou sent Direct North 8B Plus or V14 in Bishop, California, climbing this high ball problem in just a single session. This iconic line is found on the Grandpa Peabody boulder and was established by Sean Diamond in 2009. Shauna Coxey made the third ascent and female first ascent of Mito 8B Plus or V14 in Sintra, Portugal. This boulder was established by Yoon Shibanuma in 2022, and the only other person to ascend this climb was Will Bosey last year. Before we get into the sport climbing news, here's some projecting to keep an eye on. Hamish MacArthur is projecting Spots of Time V17 in the UK. He's up to at least session 3 on this boulder, which was established by Aidan Roberts. Daniel Woods continues to project Alphane V17 in Switzerland, noting recently on Instagram that he has spent somewhere around 40 sessions on it. And of course, Alphane saw its first ascent from Sean Raboutou in 2022. Okay, this is a fun one. A climbing gym in New Hampshire is offering a bounty for anyone who can send their Burden of Dreams replica. This is at Salt Pump, Portsmouth, and they're offering $500 to anyone who can send it at 35 degrees and a flight to Finland for sending it at 45 degrees. So there you go, something to keep in mind. In sport climbing news, let's start off with Stefano Ghisolfi, who has sent 2 9B or 515B routes in Spain. The first one is the Full Journey 9B in Margalef. After 9 sessions, Stefano managed to reach the top of the first part of this route called The Journey 9A+. On Instagram, he shared, "Yesterday, I could finally clip the first anchor," that's at the top of The Journey, "and decided to keep going for the Full Journey 9B, and surprisingly managed to climb it on the same go." Ghisolfi made the third ascent of this climb, following Alex Migos in 2022 and Jorge Diaz-Rulo in 2023. And this was not the only goal of his trip. The second 9B that we'll talk about is Chris Sharma's Sleeping Lion. On Instagram, Stefano shared, "The lion has been awakened. After falling 3 times on the last crux, I finally climbed Sleeping Lion in Sierrana. Mine was the 4th ascent after Chris Sharma, Alex Migos, and Jorge Diaz-Rulo, and it was my second 9B of the trip. The goal of this Spanish trip is to climb 4 9Bs in 4 different crags. 2 are down and 2 more to go." That is quite a lofty goal. He's already 50% of the way there. And the other 2 routes, which Stefano is off to try now, include Neanderthal 9B in Santa Linea. This is a Chris Sharma first ascent from 2009. And the other one is Fight or Flight 9B in Oleana, also a Chris Sharma first ascent in 2011. And it would appear that neither Neanderthal or Fight or Flight have seen an ascent since 2019. Seb Bouin has made the first ascent of El Gran Cabron 9B or 515B, sharing on Instagram, "I am pleased that this route has come to life, not only for its grading, but also, and more importantly, for the line itself. It is a true king line, a beautiful route, technically and physically demanding. This is not just a route to place at the center of the map of China, but also at the heart of the world map. It has all the qualities to captivate: the line, stunning rock, perfect holds, and a combination of endurance and bouldering sections with cool moves. I hope this will inspire some climbers to give it a try." And Seb has extended his trip to work on what he referred to as the China Project, noting that it reminds him of DNA and could be 9B plus or 515C. About this project, Seb shared, "This route shares the same start as El Gran Cabron, but finishes to the left. I still have a few more sessions before leaving China, and the fire is burning." Laura Regora recently on-sighted American Hustle 8C in Oleana, Spain. She also shared an impressive tick list featuring a 9A route and several 8B plus climbs. Yannick Garnbret has been climbing outdoors as well, sharing lots of rock climbing lately, perfect conditions, and my third 8C on-site, Popolny Mark in Mishka Pek. Really proud because I consider this my hardest one till now. I think that about does it for now. What did I miss? Let me know in the comments. And hey, my name is August. Thank you so much for watching.